Good morning and welcome to BOTB HQ in Parsons Green, South West London. My name is Christian Williams, a presenter here at BOTB. And we're here this morning to judge the latest midweek car competition, which ran from the 21st to the 27th of January 2021. And just before I hand over to the lawyer this morning, once again, a huge congratulations to last week's winner of the midweek car competition, Marco Lasic, winning a brand new Mini Cooper S. I'd now like to pass over to Charlotte Houston from Onside Law, who will oversee the proceedings this morning.
My name's Charlotte Houston from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company, Assets. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional footballer, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
I'm Nigel Hicks. I've been a Supply League match official for the best part of 30 years, and I'm an experienced football administrator.
Good morning. My name's Andy Braithwaite, and I'm a football referee, mentor, and licensed observer.
Hi, I'm Jenna Scalacci, former professional footballer. I'm now head coach on a Tottenham College programme.
Hi, my name is Ari Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
Name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee, currently a observer for the FA and head coach for the Middlesex Referees Academy.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and I'm now a senior county referee.
My name is Chloe Morgan and I'm a goalkeeper for Crystal Palace Women.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee and a mentor, a tutor and observer.
Hi, I'm Matthew Ray. I've affiliated in multiple counties across England, currently in Gloucestershire, and have refereed from grassroots through to professional academies.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Thank you, Charlotte. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Alain.
Morning.
So yeah, today's picture we got two players on the shot. I think the ball is coming from the right hand side and is dropping, towards the player in black and blue. I personally, took most of the information from the player on the left. I think the player in white is, is kind of. He's been pushed by the player in black and blue, and I think it's is out of the game, to put it this way. So let's start. I think we got quite a wide spray today. I'm gonna start drawing a few lines. So take it from there. Okay, and we'll take this one too. I think I'm going to take both eyes. Okay, yeah, now as I said, the play on the left, from my opinion, is going to play the ball. He's got his arms up, he's got his right knee up. I think he's pushing on his left leg, to go up, and he's on his way up to head this ball. As you can see, he's leaning, on the back of the player in white. And to me personally, I think this is the situation where the player in white is not expecting it. He's been pushed at the back, and as a reflex, he's looking up, and he's tilting his head backwards. So I don't think he's looking at the ball. As I said, I focus mainly on the play on the left, hence ended up in this position. Now, Matthew, you're the furthest on the left. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you're right asking that. That's a key question. Is the player in white looking at the ball? So for me, he's not. I think he's been knocked. The ball's almost gone past him. I think the blue player has got his arms up. He hasn't. I don't think he's put his head forward yet. He's going to win. He's going to win the ball or be the main challenger for the ball. But I don't think it's too far off. So I've only used the player in blue to get the trajectory of the ball, and I just don't think he's too far off playing it.
Okay. Thanks, Matthew. I think we do agree on that. With the fact that the ball is passed, and the player in white, has no chance. He's not looking at the ball basically, and okay. And we've got Nigel on the opposite, the furthest on the right. Nigel, can you explain your views?
Yeah, sure. So I am taking the sight of both players as looking at the ball, and I think all of the crosses are credible depending on the angle that the ball's dropping at. And I think we've all obviously seen it different ways. I think the eye that you just highlighted there, the player in white's eye, is his right eye, which is on the left as well. Yeah, that eye I think is clearly looking at the angle that my cross is at. The other eye, I think there's a reflection in his eyeball, which is possibly slightly hiding, but it's possibly, you could interpret it more than one way, how that ball's being played. But I see the ball as being in front of the player in white slightly. I don't think that you can look directly up or back through your eye sockets at where the ball is. And so taking the player's eyes as he's looking, I see it as dropping quite steeply from in front of them. And I think the player in blue is having to come in hard behind to try and meet that angle to try and get on top of the player in white, which he's having some success with. So I am taking both eye lines there basically.
Okay. No, I think I agree with when you look at his left eye, I think it's good. He's looking very steeply in this direction. However, this player, to me personally, I don't think he's looking, across. I'd say. But okay. Anyway, Ari, you're the highest.
Yes. I felt that looking at the position, at the body language of both players, I felt that the player in white, he had the position. But he let himself get rolled over basically by the player in blue. And the body language of the player in blue is jumping completely on top of him. And it was the only way for him to win the ball, because if he would jump straight up, he wouldn't get the ball. The ball was going to go for the player in white. And by doing so, it tells me that the ball is farther away. For him to stretch himself the way he's doing, to reach for this ball, the ball needs to be farther away. So I took as well the eye line of the player in white, because of the way they are jumping to this one. And I felt even the player in white getting surprised by the attitude of the player in blue and black. He's still looking at the ball, which tell me that the ball is a bit farther, and the player in black and blue is trying to reach it for it. He's definitely gonna win the challenge, but that was my reading.
Okay. So I guess you thought the ball was slightly in the foreground.
Yeah.
Because it's right above him. So with the 3D, it could be in the foreground. Okay. Thank you, Ari. Okay, I'm gonna ask to Liam, who's a bit, who's the lowest actually, to let us know what he thoughts.
Yeah. Could you just put the magnifying on the average cross for me, please, Alan? Thank you. Okay. So my thoughts were that obviously we're looking at a 2D picture. I looked at it and I tried to get a 3D thought process into it. For me, the ball is in front of the two players. The blue player, yes, I think he's obviously going to win the ball because of the way he's challenging. I just felt it's just a little bit lower, but on the same trajectory as Nigel and Hugh. I looked at both eye lines. I felt that the white can see the player in white can see the ball. And what was my other little point? There was something else. Yeah, just the way they're looking, the angles of the eyes, really. And that I felt that it's more imminent that the blue player is going to head the ball in the fact that he's hanging. Yeah, okay. I think that's the term you professional footballers used to use when you was going to head the ball. You know, he's got up, he's using his arms for leverage, and he's going to hang in the air, and it's going to just drop in lovely onto his head.
Right. Okay. Thank you, William. I'd like to ask Hugh. You're on the same line as Nigel. You know, from this angle. Can you explain? You know, why you chose this position?
Yeah, I agree with Nigel in terms of I did take some of the white players' eye line. I think he is looking at the ball, albeit that it's kind of just in front and above him. Obviously, like we said, it's a 2D picture. I agree with what's been said about the player in blue. He's coming through the back of this player. For me, he's going to head it. And I just felt from looking at the blue player's eye line, he was still looking quite far across. You could see a lot of the white of his eyes, but also it was quite far in the right-hand side of his eye. So for me, I took both of those and how I felt he still needed to jump to head it, and took that it was that.
Okay, thank you, Hugh. Now looking at the crosses. So yeah, we've got the average here. So I'm putting the ball on top of the average. And you know, from the average, we got, I would say, 4 crosses on the left-hand side, 4 on the right, and we've got, you know, the purple crosses which balance each other. So,
Alan, do you mind just trying to remove 2 crosses, just to have a look where the average can go? Would be the Matthew and Jenna crosses, just to check how he would pan out.
Jenna, the blue one.
Yeah,
I think it shifts, you know, slightly on the right. I don't think it changes much, to be honest. And I think, you know, if you know, if I ask Kieran, for example, you know, to justify his position, I think, you know, I can see the player in, you know, black and blue, you know, looking towards this position. Let's put, you know, Matthew and Jenna back. You know, when you put the magnifier on his eye, you know, I think, you know, it could work for me, you know, for him to look at this angle. So I would say, you know, maybe more, it would look maybe more towards this direction than towards this direction, personally.
Well, if you look at of both eyes, the other eye as well, it's a different perspective.
Yeah.
And then as well, the reason that I asked if you could just remove the other 2, I don't see how, taking consideration that I believe that the player in white is looking at the ball, I don't see how it could be. I think the limit would be exactly the your cross and the Kieran cross. It would be the limit, no more than that.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. But you know, the question is he looking at the ball? Personally, is, you know, he's too far away to be able to look at the ball, you know, above him. So as I mentioned before, I think it's more like a kind of reflex where his tilt is, you know, he's being pushed at the back. He tilts his head backwards, and he looks up, you know, as a reflex. But I think personally the average works, but I think as you mentioned, I'm happy to take a vote, including or excluding Matthew and Jenna. Okay, let's start with Nigel. What do you think? So this is, without Matthew and Jenna.
Sorry, help if I take myself off mute. Yeah, I think as I open with, I think all crosses are credible depending on the flight of the ball. So actually, I'm this week I'm quite comfortable with all 10 judges staying in for me. I think the cross in the middle gives a very credible result. The average cross as is, and I don't really have a problem with any of the individual crosses either.
Okay. Thank you, Nigel. I agree on that. Andy, I haven't heard from you. What do you think?
Oh, sorry, are we just talking about the yes or no for the two in or out, or in
no,
general?
the thing is, you feel free to explain, your position.
Okay. Sorry, Alan. Thank you.
Right.
Again, I've heard from everybody's opinion, and they are obviously all feasible. But in my opinion, the guy in white is looking at the ball. Reason that I think is that if he had been pushed, his mouth would be either open, aghast, or his eyes would be closed, whatever. So when you get an impact, so I do believe he is looking at the ball. The reason I've placed my yellow cross there is because I feel that, as is previously said, it is 2D. The ball is slightly in the foreground, but as we can tell by all 10 judges, it is a difficult position. The average sort of works for me. Yep.
Okay, with the 10 opinion. Crosses. Yep. Okay, thank you, Jenna. I guess you would be happy with the 10 crosses. The average with the 10 crosses.
Yeah, I'd be happy with the 10 crosses in. I just based mine purely on the guy in blue. I felt like he was off the ground, ready to meet the ball. I didn't feel like the player in white was looking at the ball. I think he's just been nudged in the back. So that's why I put my cross a little bit to the left.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Ari.
Well,
your thoughts.
I would, to be honest, I would prefer the average without the two mentioned crosses, but I can see that everyone is the way the average is at the moment. It's a good balance.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ari. Liam.
Yeah, I don't support removal of Jenna and Matthew, I'm afraid, because I just feel that it just, where the cross sits at the moment, it gives it's a good balance. I mean, to start taking people out from one side, you shift it across, and then what do? Then you take someone else out from that side to give it a little bit more counterbalance, and you're just going to end up with the two in the middle, albeit one of them's mine, so that'd be lovely. But no, I think you just got to leave all 10 in, to be honest, Alan.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a good balance. Kieran.
Hi, Alan. Yeah,
Hi.
I'm of the opinion of some of the other judges that the player in blue is the one whose eyes we're looking at. When I judged it, I couldn't see a crossing point between the two eye lines. So I couldn't see an overlap between the player in white and the player in blue. I can see how some people took the eye line from the player in white, but actually I think it's, as you've mentioned earlier, the player in blue's coming over the top. He's the one focused purely on the ball for sure. I think possibly the player in white has had a nudge in the back, has had contact, and therefore, although he's looking that direction, he may not be able to see the ball. So I definitely think we should at least leave all 10 in. If anything, I'd prefer to move it further to the left, but I can understand why people think that's right.
Thank you, Kieran. I think, I share your opinion. If I thought personally, if there was a crossing point, between the two eye lines, it would be above the picture, because, I don't think he's looking, they don't look basically in the same direction. So Chloe, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I would agree in keeping all 10 in.
All right,
I think it provides a good balance.
Okay, thanks, Chloe. Hugh.
Yeah, I think, like Liam said, if we take two out on the left, you could argue then Nigel and perhaps myself need to go, and you chip away to nothing. I think it all boils down to whether we think the white player's looking at the ball. Pretty much those of us on the right think he is. Those of you on the left think he isn't. And so you've got that nice balance, although we haven't got a cluster. We've got 4 and 4 on either side and the two guys bang in the middle. So it's a good average for me.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks you. I think that it's a good way to summarize it. Matthew?
Yeah, I'd echo exactly what Hugh said. We've got just two sides of a different opinion about the white player, so it's a good compromise with all 10 in.
Okay, excellent. All right. Then, okay, we're going to judge with the average. Okay, Charlotte, we've made our decision. We're going to judge with the average, including all the crosses.
Thanks very much, judges. If you're happy, please click submit. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are 1870 and 471. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company Assets to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.